Governor Bill Lee will deliver his first State of the State address tonight. The governor is expected to focus that speech on his first budget proposal, public safety, mental health, as well as education. The governor has already announced one of his legislative priorities he's calling GIVE, which supports vocational schools and training programs. The governor is also expected to talk about his support for charter schools. The address is set for 7 o'clock Eastern in Nashville. We will stream it live at WBIR.com and show you some of the highlights tonight at 11 on the Night Beat.